Welcome everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Bills, and today we're dealing with the 1974 Lancia Stratos HF Stradale. Now this has 914 horsepower, 614 pounds-feet of torque from a 4.5 litre twin turbocharged V8 engine. The car itself now weighs 2,202 pounds, has off-road tyres, all-wheel drive and off-road suspension, and it can now do 0 to 60 in 3.352 seconds, 0 to 100 in 6.508 seconds, and going to a top speed of 236 miles an hour. So in its standard rally car version, it was a highly successful rally car back in its day, but we've certainly given it a lot more power than it had either in its road going version or in its rally going version. So yeah, not sure how it's going to deal with this course with all of this extra power, but Lancia have so far gotten two of their cars into the top 10. The 037 Stradale and the Delta S4. There's only about 0.4 of a second in it between the two of them, so yeah, incredibly impressive and really rather quite consistent from them. So hopefully this can do even better, if not just as good. As yeah, it's a big ask from this because it is older than both of those cars, which were in the 80s. So this is from the 70s. So yeah, maybe its age will come up against it. But let's find out at least, I guess. Certainly no slouch. Rolls off in terms of acceleration. It's lighter than the previous two, I believe. And those two were hardly heavyweights either, so shows how lightweight this car actually is. Hopefully that means it's just a lot more agile. Let's hope it can handle the extra power and acceleration and speed, because we're going a lot quicker than it could originally. Oh dear. Yeah, we ended up hitting that little bank there that threw us up into the air, so we're going to have to use one of our free rewinds there. But that could have gone a lot worse. Basically learn the car on the fly. It's dealing with the all-wheel drive system really rather remarkably well, given it wasn't a rear-wheel drive originally. Soar through the air. Sounds apart, that's for sure. Consistently getting up to good rates of speed, so that's always a positive. It means it is being a consistent performer. Its short wheelbase and lack of weight is really helping it be as agile as it is. It's also making it a little bit skittish at times, as we saw there. Best going into that straight part there, so not quite as quick as some cars, but hardly the slowest. Just about found myself way through to that jet point. Well, it's not quite as quick as the other two Lancias, but still at 3 minutes 14.597, that is not half bad. Not quite able to get into the top 10 though with that time, as yeah, we're about 2 seconds behind the Delta S4 and about 2 and a bit seconds behind the 037 Stradale, which both managed around 3 minutes 12. So yeah, not quite as quick as those cars, and I feel like it's purely because it was a little bit hectic to get a hold of at times. It was quite, a car that really does need all of the attention in the world, and no doubt probably needs a few runs to get used to. So yeah, it was a little bit hectic, but still hardly slow, and yeah, given all the extra power it's got going in it, as had less than 200 horsepower in its standard form, and yeah, certainly wasn't able to get up to 160 or so mile an hour, which I think we were getting up to at some points. Means that yeah, it's well out of its comfort zone despite being an off-road orientated vehicle. So yeah, and it dealt with the power, the acceleration and the speed reasonably well despite the odd occasion of it getting away from us. So yeah, so 3 minutes 14.597 means that we are just behind the Nissan Z car, as well as the DMC Hummer AV pickup and the MG Metro 6R4, but we are ahead of the likes of the AMC Rebel, the Machine, Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, Aston Martin 177 and other rally cars or off-road orientated vehicles like the Ford No. 4 Focus RS, the Peugeot 207 Super 2000, Extreme E X44, the Abarth Fiat 131. So we've beaten at least a slightly newer rally car in that regard, as well as the Peugeot obviously and the Ford, as well as the Porsche Mission. Well, I wouldn't say that's an off-road orientated car, but it was a pretty quick car, that Porsche Mission R, as well as the Subaru WRX STI ARX supercar, and I'm not really finding any apart from the Illumicraft Class 1 buggy. So yeah, quicker than several cars that you kind of would expect it to be quicker than, but it's also quicker than a couple of new rally cars, which again is quite surprising, and it's quicker than an Extreme E vehicle, which were hardly slow and have way more off-road capability than we do in this car. So yeah, overall an impressive car. It's just a shame that it wasn't quite as manageable as I would have liked it to have been, to therefore have made a much faster time. But still, it's another good showing from Lancia, and yeah, hopefully whatever cars we have left from them to take a look at will be just as impressive. So yeah, nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.